Greetings and welcome to the Hamptons. My name is Sandra K. It is the holidays and it's time to be merry. Joining me today is Rocio Fukuda, pastry chef and cake designer. Rocio and I will be creating, baking, and decorating Christmas gingerbread cookies and a candy-inspired gingerbread cake. Welcome, Rocio.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for having me here.
Yes,
We're so excited to make the gingerbread house.
Yes, no, it's great. We're having a lot of fun. It's a play date. And Rocio and I have had the pleasure actually of being together. This is our fourth time now, our fourth show.
Yes, so many years already.
For many years.
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, and today our Christmas show. And Rocio is now doing her own show, which she does on desserts in Spanish.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's called Postres con la Chef Rocio Fukuda, and it's only in Spanish.
Yes, and it's wonderful, everyone. You should tune in. It's fabulous. So, Rocio is going to lead us now. What are we going to start out with?
So we're going to start making our dough for the cookies and the house. You can use the same dough for both. And we're going to start beating our butter with the sugar.
Okay, I'm going to be the assistant here.
Thank you.
Sugar.
Thank you.
And what do we have here, Rocio?
Those are molasses. So once we mix a little bit this, we can start adding, oh, it's not mixing. We can start, I guess I'll do it in my head.
Okay. The show must go on, as they say.
So usually you mix it a little bit and then you get your sugar and the butter together and kind of dissolve a little bit. And then you start adding other ingredients. So we have molasses. Yeah, it smells really good. And now we can add all the spices. So for the spices, I'm using ginger, clove, salt, and cinnamon. Lots of cinnamon.
Which has a great smell.
Yes.
And this is a fairly classic recipe, would you say, Rocio, for making gingerbread cookies and cake?
And it's very easy. You can do it with the kids. We're going to start adding the sugar, the flour with the water.
Okay.
I'm just going to be adding it little by little.
And we do have, if you'd like to follow along, the recipe over here that you can follow and see the ingredients. Actually, I'll just bring it here for a moment so everybody could see what's involved in creating these cookies and cake, which is pretty simple and a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great way to spend a day with friends, with family, creating, baking, and who doesn't love candy and cake and all the great things.
Yeah, and it's really fast. You don't need to wait. There is some recipes that you actually have to put it in the refrigerator and wait for like a couple of hours or so. But with this one, no. So you just make it, you roll it, you start cutting, and then you bake it, and that's it. Doesn't take as much as baking. You bake it at 350 degrees. For if it's gonna be for the house, which are big pieces, you can do probably 20-30 minutes. If it's just the little cookies, the smaller, it will bake faster.
Okay.
So no more than 20 minutes, I will say. One there.
And so even doing it now by hand should really not be that much of a difference in the consistency. What would you say about that?
No, it will be the same.
Okay. Well, especially when you're strong and you know what how to mix. You've had me doing it. I'm not so sure about that, but it's part of the fun.
So now it starts getting the dough together. I'm just gonna put my hand in there because, I guess this is working now. Let me see. Oh, there you go. We have the mixer now.
See, everybody, it's important. You're supposed to always remain cool under all circumstances and never get excited.
Alright. So we're gonna give it a little bit. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit more water.
Sure? Okay, good. And we're going to be, well, Rocio will tell us, but we're going to be laying out the dough and using some different cookie cutters to form our fun shapes that we'll be doing today.
Yeah.
Where we, go ahead.
So usually when you start the dough, you mix it a lot with the butter and the sugar. So this way, that's kind of like the one that gets all the dough together. You know, just the butter, and it gets soft and it gets gooey. So we're gonna give it just a little bit of time, and we're gonna prepare the table. So once the dough is ready, we're gonna put it in between parchment papers because it's gonna be a little sticky. So you can flour also the surface, but I recommend to do it like in between parchment papers, so it's a little bit easier. And you can choose any designs you want. For our cookies, we have like
We have the
angels,
the ornaments,
like gingerbread house, like gingerbread cookies, the
candy cane.
tree, candy cane.
We have gingerbread man, and we have our Christmas tree.
Yeah. So, and for the gingerbread house, you can just download any template that you can find on the internet. That will work perfectly. And then you just cut it with the hand. That's fine. The dough is super easy to make. So it gets together, and you can, after you cut the cookies, you can put it in the baking tray, which I have one right there ready.
Right, we'll get that ready.
You can use also parchment paper on the tray. In this case, I just have the silicone mold. It's easier. I do it like that. Okay. And then you just
roll in between the parchment.
Yeah, so this way it's not like really sticky. So you see how easy it comes out. And then you don't have to add more flour, because the more flour you add to your dough, the more dry it's gonna be.
Okay. So it will affect the flavor and the consistency and taste.
Yeah, so the first one is not gonna be that much affected, but the second one, because you're gonna have to mix it, and then it's kind of like you're adding more flour into it. So we don't want to do that, because then the dough at the end is gonna be like really dry.
Okay.
This is really good. And the thickness, it depends on what you're doing. I will say for the cookies, go a little bit not too thick. The house you can do a little bit thicker, because you need it to stand up and support the weight that you're gonna put on with the candies and all the decorations.
And how long will we have once we make them, the cookies, how long will they be in the oven?
About 20 minutes, I will say. If it's just the cookies. If it's for the house, we can do maybe between 20 and 30, depending on the shape you're doing. Like, I guess the ceiling will take longer because it's gonna be bigger.
Right.
Maybe the little size are gonna be less. Let's see. Just gonna flip this over so we don't have the wrinkles on the side.
Okay.
And then just one more. Just straighten out all the wrinkles, and you can start cutting.
Okay. Why don't we start with our little...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
This is the fun part.
Okay, and
So you can do another one like over here, and then we lift it with the spatula. You can lift it up just with a regular offset spatula, and that goes on the tray.
okay, great.
Yeah, just like this. Oh, how easy it is. There you go.
And I can smell it.
It smells, yeah, the ginger.
Yeah.
And you see how easy it is? If you want to do that one, we have more spatulas. You got your spatula there too.
I can try.
Yeah. I hold the paper for you.
Okay. Best to, I guess, just pull it away. That's the
Yeah.
easiest way to do it, so you don't break your batter dough.
So this way you can roll your dough out as many times as you want because you're not adding any flour to it. So it will be great and it will be the same consistency all the time. Now we can put it in the oven.
Okey-doke. Great.
And we can start getting ready our candies and stuff.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. I will say we can start decorating the house.
Well, I can't wait to do this. I went shopping yesterday for all the candies.
You got a lot of candies, really good candies.
A lot of fun.
All right. So you have a couple of options to decorate the house. Usually, and the more classic one is with the royal icing, which I have here. Let me just cut a little bit. And the other way is chocolate. So you can just melt some chocolate and then start gluing and gluing all your candy on it. So, and then this is where the fun begins because you can, there is no right or wrong way.
Right, it's
you
what
can just
glues you.
decorate it however you want, however you like it, or the kids too. Like this is really fun for the kids. Of course, they will be eating it.
Right.
All the candy before it actually goes in there. And then you just start decorating however you want.
Yeah, put a couple more.
Yeah.
Maybe,
You can do like a snow. This is just plain white royal icing. You can also color the royal icing.
Okay,
you know, like green
that's a great
or
idea.
red. It depending on what you're gonna do. If you're gonna maybe draw some trees. I don't know if you wanna glue some.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll stay a little consistent for the moment.
Yes. That is nice.
Great, and one more. Can really have a lot of fun doing this.
Yes. So you have probably some of this. I love these ones.
Okay.
Those Hershey Kisses are really good.
Yeah, see these candy cane Hershey Kisses. These are great.
And some, you can do some marshmallows on the bottom. The gummy bears, like the gummies are really nice. Like you can do like a tree with the green ones. And also for the cookies, I have different designs. So if you don't really wanna decorate anything after you cut it with the cutter, you can also find this, like it's like a cookie stamp. So you just stamp on the cookie and then you bake it that way.
One just fell down.
And it's gonna be like really pretty depending on the design you have. So there is stamps and there is also the rolling pins that comes with the design on it, and you can use those. And then it's just the gingerbread cookie, you know, like you don't need to put any frosting, any royal icing or any candy on it. It will just look really pretty.
And like you said, you could do all different colors.
Yeah. So let me get the cookies from the oven.
What a great afternoon activity. And this should take all of probably if you took your time, I would say about an hour to make the, well,
Yes.
to decorate, you know.
Yeah, to
To
decorate.
decorate.
I mean, you have to wait for the cookies to cool down, otherwise the frosting or whatever you're using to
Mhm.
glue is gonna start melting. Like the chocolate or the royal icing, it will melt. But we can use the candies too for the cookies. And there is different designs for the cookie cutters as well. This one is a 3D. So when you cut the cookie, you also have a base and then you can put it together.
Oh, that's clever,
Yeah.
right here.
So right here I have one already decorated and it stands up. It's like a 3D cookie.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So there is
Lovely
so
presentation.
so many designs of cookie cutters out there. It's just like whatever your preference is. You can do anything for different events. You can even do like name tags if you're
Right.
having your Christmas party, and you can do
Sure.
a cookie name tag where the people is going to be sitting.
Right, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Love that. And we have a few other few designs here too. The snowman, which is always fun.
Snowman, yeah.
Yeah.
All the kids like it. And the reindeer, little
Yes.
fat one. And the trees. The ornaments are really fun too. You
Yeah.
just decorate it the way you want. It's round, so you have so many options to do there.
Here you go, if you'd like
Thank
to
you.
do a little
Let's
of your
probably-
own
let's
decorating
do
at this point.
a little bit of this one.
And here I even noticed on the shapes of the cookies, what you can do is you can fill in with different colors. Like if you go to right there in the hearts,
Yeah,
that
we
could be
can
a lot
put-
of fun.
We can put the M&Ms here. Green, red. I mean, kids can just go wild with these decorations. They love it. Probably over here too. And we can do the tree.
Yeah.
There you go. And you can put more stuff there.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some of the green ones over here on the tree.
Let's just do a border here.
Yeah, chocolate will dry a little faster than the royal icing. So it's just your preference. How do you wanna decorate the cookies or the house? I like to glue my house with chocolate because it dries a little bit stronger. But you can actually use isomalt and like sugar for the windows. So at the time you're baking, you put the sugar or a candy and it will melt inside. So it looks
that's a great idea.
a window. Mm-hmm.
How pretty. I'm gonna take one of those candy canes. Let's see if we
Red, green.
Yeah, perfect. Great. We can showcase that.
And we can do.
You can get creative and come up with any ideas you like.
Mm-hmm.
This one should stick a little.
And this
bit.
recipe is very easy. Like
Yes.
I even do it by my hand. so it was very easy to do.
Nice. Just line it here in the front. And what's another, with this dough, Rocio, that we've created, what else could we make out of this? You know, we have the cookies. Can we take this? What would need to make more of a cupcake, for example? What would we have to do to change it?
Well, we don't change that dough.
Okay.
But usually if you're gonna make a cupcake and then you're gonna flavor it with the ginger, you can do like a regular vanilla, and then instead of putting vanilla, you can add the Christmas flavors, you know, like cinnamon and cloves and all the spices that is gonna bring up the flavor on the dough.
Right.
On the actual dough. Or you can just use the same cookies, do a smaller one, and you can decorate it, and on top of the frosting, you can put that on top. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
Like,
that you have different uses for the dough that was created.
yes, yes. I know, maybe we can do another one over here. For this, you can actually color as well. Yeah. So the more candy you have on the cookies or on the house, that will be better because the kids love it.
Yes.
Yeah, let's try it. It's really nice. You can do different colors.
And generally now, before the holiday season, even in terms of what you do, will you be preparing cookies, cakes for the holidays? Will you be delivering them? How does you and what you do with the Rustic Cake Studio come into play?
Yes, so Rustic Cake Studio does more custom cakes, but you can order your cookies or you can order your Christmas custom cake. We personalize everything, so there
Okay.
is no two the same.
Oh, that's
yeah.
special.
And the cookies, we bake them and then we decorate them the way you want to because everything is custom made by
Right.
order.
And you can do your own themes.
Yes.
You have your own themes of whatever people might like.
Yes, that too. You can choose from the ones that we have, or you can do a customized order. And then we do deliver to all East End
Yes.
as well.
Very nice. And what about, what would you say some of the most popular cookies and or cakes? Obviously, we have the gingerbread
The
recipe.
gingerbread chocolate is our most asked cake.
Okay.
Everybody loves chocolate through the whole year. So even Christmas, it has to be chocolate as well.
Okay.
Cookies, mostly the vanilla, but we are also offering vegan cakes, or we do consider all the allergies out there, and we have lactose free or nuts free. You know, it just depends on the customer what they want and what they like, and we're very careful with the allergies as well.
Okay. And has business gotten started for you now for the Christmas holiday? Are you starting to get all of orders for that at this time?
Yeah, so orders, we started with orders in November for December, actually. You can also call and find out if we have any space available. Usually we're really busy because holidays, everybody celebrates the holidays. But you can call 516-661-2865 and see if we can have availability for your Christmas or, you know, coming up, any celebration that you have.
Right, sure. No, that's great. It's an
Thank you.
exciting time of the year, and
Yes.
it's great to prepare and play and have fun. This is great for your children. It's great for adults. We all like to, you know, be a child and just have fun creating. It's a great way to spend your time and prepare for the holidays.
Yes. And it's nice that you are spending all with your family. That's why everybody gets a lot of goodies to share in the house. Like,
And you know what's cute too? You can even make
Mhm.
your own cookies and put them on gifts, frankly. You know,
Yes.
and that's could be a fun little motif with a tag and a name. You can get very creative.
So what I do with my son for Christmas for the teachers, actually, I made some cookies and then I put them in like a little basket, and you know, they love it. It's just really nice for them.
Yes.
Anything like sweets, everybody will love it.
And what other ingredients do you like to work with, Rocio, in preparing your?
I actually like to do a lot of vegetables and fruits, like carrot cake
Oh,
is really
okay.
good, coconut cake. They are like natural flavors, you know, like if you do a carrot cake, carrots will bring the flavor to the cake instead of adding just vanilla or any flavoring there. So all the cakes that we do are from scratch. We don't use any mixes. So that's why our ingredients are, you know, bringing the flavor in the
And
cake.
we're certainly in the right neighborhood out
Exactly.
here, farm fresh vegetables.
Farm fresh, yes.
And no, that's great. And you work out of the Stony Brook?
Stony Brook, yes. So we are Rent a Kitchen. We work out of the East End Food Institute, which is inside Stony Brook University. And then we just, it's like a Rent a Kitchen that there's more, about 15 other entrepreneurs that work from there as well.
That's very nice. That's a
Yeah.
great spot, and it's easy
Yes.
access to anyone out here in the Hamptons that might want deliveries of any special cakes, cookies for the holidays, so you should keep that in mind. You will be pleased. I know that Rocio and I actually, we got started when I was looking for a birthday cake for my
Yeah,
daughter
for your
several
daughter.
years ago.
Yes.
And I was so enchanted with the cake that you created, we all were, that then I invited you on the show, and lo
Yes.
and behold, it's several years later, and it's really great. So we thank you, everybody. We wish everyone a very happy holiday. Be safe, be well, enjoy your time. 'Tis the season.
Thank you.
Kisses. Thank you. Bye-bye.